Welcome to today's video, uh, weekly training vlog. Okay, so let's have a little look here for July 2022. Okay, so last week I did around 45 minutes of Silman's Endgame course and then Johan Helston's Mastering Middle Games. Only did 10 minutes of that, unfortunately. Then I did about over 4 hours of Boris Gulko's Lessons with the Grandmaster #2. So I learned a lot there. How to play certain positions, how to think. It's more of a dynamic book, that book. And I really enjoy that one because I'm more of a positional player. So by going through games and reading the explanations of Boris Gulko, who has come up with lots of these dynamic decisions in particular moments of chess games, it really made me think I've got to improve on that. I've really got to master that part. I mean, I used to enjoy attacking, probably blindly, going gung-ho, pushing pawns forwards, pawn storing with the king, exposing myself, leaving myself open to attacks in the endgame or weakening in the endgame against stronger players. So and now I'm trying to go back to a more dynamic way of playing when I have to. So that book has really helped. I've decided this week to work on my openings because whenever I play like Blitz and rapid play games or even the occasional bullet, I really struggle in the opening sometimes. So I've really just got to work on that. I didn't really want to work on it. I really only wanted to concentrate on the end games and the middle games and just general play as a whole, and then working on my tactics and puzzles, of course. Okay, but I just feel an urgent need to work on that part. So I've decided to come up with a new way of doing it by using flashcards. And this is how I would do it. So basically I would, okay, so let's say in the Italian game, the Evans Gambit. Okay, so this is the line on the Evans Gambit. So instead of trying to memorize instead of trying to memorize each and every move, okay, I would just do it in sequences. So this is the first step of the Evans Gambit, and this is one line where the bishop goes to a5, d4, and takes that pawn, white castles. Okay, so here, this is the critical point. There's lots of ways for white to respond. Okay, so in this position, I remember the knight goes to e7. So after e7, the next line could be something like knight g5. So after knight g5, I would try to remember to play the pawn to d5. Pawn takes d5. Knight goes to e5, defending the pawn on f7. And also I can then play the idea pawn to f6. Defending that knight on e5 whilst attacking the knight on g5. Okay, so I think that is the next line. Right, okay, so it's d5, yeah, knight e7, knight g5, d5. If white takes, the knight should go to e5. Okay, I've not looked at rook e1. I should really consider that as well, just looking at it with fresh eyes, but it should be queen takes d4. And after queen takes d4, pawn to f6. Defending the knight whilst attacking the white knight. There we go. So it should be f6 should occur. And then what else would happen? Maybe what would happen? Pawn to f6. Knight doesn't go anywhere. Maybe rook e5. Could be rook e5. Can't remember that. The next part. So f6. F6 if rook e1, castles, maybe castles. There's a knight, there's a bishop on. on c4. Okay, so queen d4, f6, defending the knight. And then I've got to, should I take that off? No, the knight has to be the knight defends. Okay, so knight e5, f6, bishop b3. I can't seem to castle. Well, anyway, let's see what happens. So, okay. So what happens if the bishop goes to b3? Well, I've got to look at that. The best line is bishop b5, but I really should look at bishop b3. So maybe I would play queen d6. No, oh, maybe I need to look into that. c5, maybe. Okay. So I basically remember bishop b5, c6 takes bishop goes back to e2. Then I castle kingside, and then after that, maybe. Okay, yep, so that's right. c6 takes bishop b2, castles, bishop a3. Now what do? I could take the knight on g5, queen takes, and then knight g6, attacking the queen. Yes, the bishop's attacking the rook, but I'm attacking the queen first. There we go, that is the line. Okay, and then I think that's the end of the line, and you just work out a plan after that, depending on where the queen goes. It could go to a variety of places, but I'm not going to work all of that out. Yes, there are some flaws to this system that I'm working on, but at least I managed to get this far. Okay, so so it's my version of flashcards when it comes to learning the opening. Okay, so I'm trying to remember one step, get to the next step. If I can't remember, I get to the next step and see whether I can work backwards. So from this position, if I missed out a few moves from here to here, I try to work my way backwards, or from this position, then move to the appropriate or to the subsequent position somehow. Okay, so like I said here, bishop a3, pinning the knight. Okay, but I take this knight, queen has to take this knight, then knight goes to g6, perfectly well placed, attacking the queen, even though my rook, despite my rook being attacked. That's that part of the phase done. Okay, and the same goes for this. Okay, so this is my new way of working through the opening. I've never done it before. I'm not good at remembering openings. Before, when I used to work through openings, I would try to play through the actual lines on the computer, but I never ever remembered them. And also it's quite fiddly to go backwards and forwards, going through trying to remember lines. So by doing it in this visual flashcard way, that's how, and hopefully I can remember it. So I showed you just very briefly that I managed to remember it. I've not revised it. I'm not planning on revising it just yet. I'm just sorting out the opening moves, and then I'll start trying to study and memorize it. Okay, and this week I've done about 45 minutes of analyzing old games, and I'll show you one later. So tactics and puzzles, doing really well. 8.5 hours of puzzles and tactics on chess.com. And playing, yeah, done a little bit of playing so I can analyze my games. Okay, check on my progress, and let's check my progress on chess.com. Okay, here we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, so puzzles. We'll go on to puzzles. Okay, so just very briefly. So let's go back here. Oops. Sorry, let me go back into that. Okay, so here. Okay, I'm still sharing my screen. Yep, there we go. Okay, right. So here's my progress. And when did I break 3,500? 21st of July. Okay, well, I didn't quite break it. I made it, and then I broke it on the same day. Okay, I messed up. I had 2 more chances, and I managed to get them right. Okay, so on the 21st of July, I managed to break 3,500. Okay, but reaching it was really my goal. Okay, so had a few hits and misses, bumps and bruises, and I've gone under 3,500, but hey, I'm quite happy with my progress. I didn't even think I was going to get to 3,400, let alone 3,500. So still very pleased with that. Okay. So moving on to one of my games. Okay, now I'm going to show a game where I've been struggling. And these are the types of positions. I'm not sure whether it's because the opening was poor, what have you, but okay, let's go through it anyway. Let's make the board a little bit bigger. Okay, right, here we go. So I'm playing a Slav, bishop f5 line, okay, fighting against the London system, okay, 6, queen out here. Now, normally I play queen d7, queen b6, but I've been looking at a new line with queen c8. Bit passive, but at least it gets me into the game if I remember a few of the lines, okay? And I'm hoping to do that using my new flashcard method. Okay, so anyway, so queen b6, this is the problem that I have, okay? Yeah, I fall into passive positions, fine. And I've seen this position many times, never know how to combat it. Anyway, okay, so here, he attacks on the queen side, all normal, keeps the bishop. Okay, pawn to a5, really trying to open me up, okay. So this is where I start to become really passive. Okay, so he's yeah, the onus is really on him to win. I always feel difficulties in this position. Okay, it's keeping all the pieces rightly because I'm completely cramped, barely have any space. He's got to avoid the exchanges. Threatening knight to b6. I've got no initiative. I'm definitely on the back foot. Okay, so basically I don't have a plan. I lashed out. I mean, could I be even more solid by playing king to f8 and then e7? I don't think it makes much difference really. I just fallen into a worse position and it's just going to get worse from here. At least I'm fighting, at least. I'm trying to get rid of pieces. Trying to push that away. And then I didn't realize how weak the square on b6 was. So if I did decide to take it, takes, doesn't look that good anyway. Yeah, looks absolutely terrible. Maybe I've got to get this bishop here. Wow, I'm really groveling here, okay. But I just didn't see what his idea was anyway. Still my fault. King f7. 2 knights could go to b6, forking my rooks. That's the end of the game. Just psychologically too many things to consider, and I buckled. And there we go. So I messed up. So I've got to work on my openings. But even there, it tells me my game, it just lacks a little bit of planning and maybe tactical awareness in poor positions. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. When you're defending, you kind of find it really hard to find winning opportunities, especially when you're on the back foot, and also the best defensive resources. That happens sometimes. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed the training vlog. I'm doing I'm hoping to work on more of my my openings, and also go through Boris Gulko's book as well. But as for the rest of the week, last week, I managed to work out. So half an hour of doing some cardio hit, some cycling, 20 minutes of cycling, and then half an hour of 10 minutes of abs, 3 sessions. I try to do hit and the ab work at the same time. So it all adds up. So that's 20 minutes a time of cardio. I've been doing some breathing almost every day. I might have done it on that day. I just didn't log it possibly. So I'll give that one a miss. So another almost 2 hours of breathing exercises. And last week I managed to do an hour's worth of meditation. So hopefully I could do a little bit more because life is always very hectic. Anyway, okay, have a good one and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.